Hi, this is King of Review. Find the sum of the x-intercepts of the quadratic functions shown below. Y equals x squared minus 1. In this problem, we want to find the sum of the x-intercepts. I'll start off by first finding the x-intercepts and then adding them together to get the sum. So let's think about x-intercepts. If we were to plot a line, let's say this is our line here, our x-intercept would be where the line crosses the x-axis, so it would be right here. So let's look at our equation. We have y equals x squared minus 1, and that's plotted here. It's a parabola. Now, where does our parabola cross the x-axis? Well, it crosses at two different points. One point is here, and the other one is right here. Where does it cross? Well, one of the points is at -1, and the other point is at 1. We're asked to find the sum of these x-intercepts. So we have -1 plus 1 equals 0. So 0 is our answer. We could also solve this another way. We can solve it algebraically too. So if we think about the x-intercept, let's look at this one here. This point will have an x-coordinate and it will have a y-coordinate. Now the y-coordinate will be 0 at this point. The y-coordinate of the x-intercept is 0 because when a graph touches the x-axis, the y value of that point is 0. So if we have our equation y equals x squared minus 1, if we set y equal to 0, we'll be able to solve for the x-intercepts. So we have 0 equals x squared minus 1. And if we factor this portion here, we get 0 equals x plus 1 times x minus 1. And I factored using the box method here. We put our x squared term here and our constant term, which is -1 here. Two terms that multiply together to give x squared are x times x, and two terms that multiply together to give -1 are 1 and -1. Filling out the remainder of the box, -1 times x is -1x, and x times 1 is 1x. If you add these two boxes together, -1x plus 1x, you get 0x. And here you could see that we do not have an x term. We just have x squared minus 1. So that's how I got these terms here when I factored. Next, we'll think about a property called zero product property. If we have two numbers that are being multiplied together to give a 0, this means that either one of these numbers must be a 0 in order to get 0 for the answer. So we could have a times 0 equals 0, or 0 times b equals 0. Now applying this to our problem, if I set either one of these two terms equal to 0, I'll get 0 for the answer here. So let's do that. X plus 1 equals 0, and x minus 1 equals 0. Solving for x, we'll subtract a 1 on both sides, and this gives us x equals -1, so that's one of our x-intercepts. And for the other term, I'll add a 1 to both sides, and this gives us x equals 1. So x equals 1 is the other x-intercept, and that's what we found over here on the graph. So we have -1 plus 1 equals 0. And 0 is our answer. Thanks for watching.